Hey guys, Palsteron here, and today let's talk about a fun little leveling journey that I'll be personally going on and trying because it will probably never be possible again. And it's a very risky one, but I kind of want to explain what I'm going to do. Now, this is about ranger leveling, and just so you know, if you're a new player, you should not be leveling the way I'm just about to tell you, simply because you don't have to actually risk anything. Ranger is very good at leveling. Check out Havok's leveling guide on Maxwell that he's going to put out. I think at this point it's not published. I'll link it down below in the description as soon as it is. I'll also link it in my build guide later. There's literally zero reason to risk anything on Ranger, other than just wanting to do it because this ascendancy might never come back, or just in private leagues or whatever, right? So, I'll explain it, but just so you know, if you don't have the wherewithal to maybe get out of this build eventually, then you should not be trying this because it's risky. I cannot currently test this, but hear me out. Now, I personally am going to go for a Whisperer build, which is also on Ranger, and I'm going to pick 2 ascendancies from Wild Speaker, and then I'm going to respec at level 68. And what I'm gonna play is Pack Mentality, trigger level 20, summon Spectral Wolf on crit. Now there's a good chance you're already leveled with Spectral Wolf at some point, whether it was with the Runesmithing enchant last league, or maybe from Rigwold's Crest you corrupted it and got one at level 1 and just one-shot everything. Law of the Wilds is unfortunately level 62, so you can't really do much with that. But chances are you already know how busted these things are during campaign. Now, depending on level, they have a lot more damage or a lot less damage. And they basically last for 30 seconds. You can have up to 10 wolves. And not only do they do damage themselves, they also buff you. And this buff grants 8 to 16 added physical damage. So if we take 8 to 16, the average is 12. So around about 120 flat physical, which is completely ridiculous at like level 32 or whenever you're going to do your first lap. Now, the big deal here is in the past, we've had all these on-kill effects for Spectral Wolf, other than in Crucible, which I never got to play with this. That was on crit, but that was only on Cleave or Reeve. And I also don't even know if you could get it on an early game one. I actually do not remember. But yeah, you get a ton of damage. They do a ton of damage. And it's just a good time. Well, you might think, okay, so but it's on crit. That is kind of rough for leveling. That's probably why they put the on crit here. You're not going to have a lot of crit. It's not going to be up all the time. But there, you might be wrong. So I'm going to show you my level 33 setup. This is the point where I'm going to get the ascendancy, and you will see I have 93% crit at level 33. I have the bleed crit nodes right here. I have the crit nodes on lethality. I have Heartseeker. And in my gem setup, I have Power Siphon. Now, Power Siphon gets 10% more crit per power charge. This is only on 3 power charges, mind you. Only 3 power charges, nothing else. I have increased critical strikes. I have Power Charge on crit, and I have faster attacks. Now, I don't know if the Power Charge on crit is even necessary, because obviously you have that line with Power Siphon anyways. I just thought I would chunk it on, because at this point, your damage is probably not going to matter. Your wolves are going to decimate everything. At some point, you can maybe even remove that. I'm not really sure about that. But yeah, we're also running Precision for a little bit, crit and accuracy. We have Hatred to buff both ourselves and the wolves, all the physical damage, and then Shield Charge with faster attacks. And you can add more stuff. This is an absolute rudimentary setup. But just so you know, almost every hit will actually straight up give you that wolf. All right, so let's say you're leveled with this and at some point it starts falling off a little bit in damage. You have at level 55 for second lap Scourge of the Wilds, which gives minion damage, deals 1% increased damage per 5 dex, and it also counts for you. And at level 55, let's see how much dex you're gonna have. So this is right before you take the dex wheel. You're gonna have like 242, and then at 68, basically right after 55 you're taking this. So let's say at 55 you're gonna have around about 300 dexterity. 300 divided by 5, that is 60% minion damage, and then times 1.5, 90% damage for you as well, which at that state of the game is pretty damn massive. Now, in terms of want, what you would want is something like a minion one, most likely. Anyways, 8.3 crit. You can get more with like other bases, but it also has 1.5 attack speed, and it has minion mods. And at a certain time, maybe you're going to overtake the wolves in terms of damage. I'm not sure. I don't really think so. But yeah, you mostly just want a little bit of minion damage, maybe craft dex on it or something. In the first 2 levels, I'm just going to do normal bow setup. I'm going to go for proj damage, take Primal Spirit, go Aspect of the Eagle, the good old spiel, right? Aspect of the Lynx, Finesse, and then I'm going to path right over to Precise Technique. And as you can notice, this is going to be a few respecs, but I think it is worth it to get to that level 32. Even Farsight is definitely worth it. I will most likely not take this Mastery. However, it might be worth it for an extra 10 levels. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm probably not doing it. We'll see. Either way, it's probably better to just take quick step at that point, and then I'm going to start connecting over there. And once I'm here, I'm actually going to connect through weapon artistry, and I'm going to start taking this, and then I can respec the first node. And now at this point, I have to be a little bit careful that I don't get too much life while pathing through here, so I'm probably not going to take herbalism right away. I'm 28, and now I'm starting to go down. At this point, I have way more than enough strength because I also got some increased attack damage here and some attack speed here, which is global. And later I can respec these 4 points and these points, and it's perfectly set up. Now I'm just going to start pathing down right here all the way so I can kind of set up the crit nodes, and then I can respec it. But yeah, right now we're level 32. At this point, Blood Aqueducts, wherever I am going to get the Ascendancy, and then I'm going to respec. So here I get the Ascendancy. Now I do respec 1, respec 2. If you don't have enough respecs for this, for some reason, maybe you didn't get enough gold or something, I'm actually not 100% sure about this. It's pretty scuffed. Just bear with me. You respec this, and now you just fill in the crit nodes. Crit node number 1, boom. Crit node number 2, boom. And I guess I need a QAD for that extra accuracy. Sure. So we're going to do boom, pick the accuracy mastery right here. And then we're probably also going to get Heartseeker. And now we can also fill in herbalism. This is a little bit too many levels. I guess at this point you would maybe not go this. Yeah, you would start pathing into this. So this is how it would look like. Let's see if I kind of got it right. First 33 levels. Yeah, basically. I didn't take these. I guess I just had less points here. 38 points. Yeah, I'm just going to remove this. Okay. So this is basically how I'm going to level, and it's going to be a breeze until level 32. And yeah, then we're going wolves. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is if your build already needs a lot of respecs, adding these 20 ascendancy respecs is obviously going to be a big strain. Usually people tell me they get out of the campaign with like 30k gold, which is kind of like 30 respecs, and then you can get up to 20 from the quest reward. So this plus the respecs at level 32 might be too much for your build then, so maybe don't risk it at that point. The reason I'm going to do this is because I have to go Merclap after campaign, so I'm going to farm a lot of just accidental gold there, and it's not going to be an issue. So I actually found a way to see how much damage Spectral Wolf at level 20 do. There actually used to be a mod on Crucible that triggers exactly level 20 Spectral Wolves on crit, as I talked about earlier. And if you import it in PoB, it actually works with it. And I'm assuming this is actually correct. So if you see right here, this is the damage. There doesn't seem to be any increases here because I unequipped my wand, and it has quite a bit of base damage, this times 10 with 10 wolves, and then you also get a ton of cold from hatred. So I'm assuming this is the damage, and it does look pretty good. I don't know how I would ever test this out in game right now, how I would fake that in game, but sounds pretty good to me. Potential problems. I'm not really a minion guy. I think I know how much this will deal, but it's really hard to test out right now. I know a lot of you guys will say, oh, just test it out with on kill, but it's just not the same. Having, like, I remember leveling with this, with the on kill wolf setup, and it's just sometimes annoying, especially when you get to certain bosses, not having them up. Having 10 up all the time also means you have 120 flat fizz all the time. I don't know. In my brain, it just makes sense, but it might not, because I can't test it out, so it's not 100%. So you shouldn't really risk your league start on this unless you're a crazy person. The second thing is, it might have an internal cooldown, so I'm just kind of grasping at straws here. This might have an internal cooldown for some reason. Maybe they hate you, and they're just like, okay, we're just gonna fuck this up. And yeah, it's kind of like a trap. I'm not really 100% sure. The other concerns is the wolf skill is level with you. This is interesting because this happened with the elemental relic. So if you look at Guardian here, 25% chance to trigger level 20 elemental relic when you're nearby ally, kill an enemy or hit a unique enemy. This one actually scales the level of the aura with you, so that might also work with wolves, and maybe those wolves are pretty damn weak actually, and the scaling is not all that good. I don't think that's going to be the case, but it's definitely possible. And the only upside is really FOMO. I want to do this on league start. There's no reason to do this once again because Ranger has like the best leveling ever. It's just I want to do it. The end. And I want to share it because a lot of people have been asking about it, and I think it's kind of cool that you can get this much crit early. And yeah, in theory, should be fun. Just wanted to share it. See you guys around.